Hello students, welcome to Science Teacher. In this session, we are going to discuss part 2 of chapter and questions of class 10 science lesson 1 chemical reactions and equations. Up to question number 8, we already discussed in part 1. In this session, we are going to discuss from question number 9. So question number 9 says, what does one mean by exothermic and endothermic reactions? Give examples. Now here exothermic reaction means the reactions in which heat or energy is evolved or released. Always exothermic reaction is indicated by writing plus heat on the product side. Let us take one example of burning of methane gas. CH4 plus oxygen gives carbon dioxide plus water plus heat. Here heat is released. This is one kind of exothermic reaction. That is why we are indicating that by writing plus heat on the product side. Let us balance this. 2H2O, which is a gas, carbon dioxide is a gas, oxygen is a gas, methane also is a gas. Now, next is endothermic reaction. The reaction in which heat is absorbed are known as endothermic reactions. Or else we can say the reactions in which energy is absorbed. They are called as endothermic reaction. That energy can be in the form of heat, light or electricity. Now example is, let us take the example of thermal decomposition of calcium carbonate. Calcium carbonate on heating forms a calcium oxide plus carbon dioxide. This calcium oxide is also called as quicklime, which is used in a cement industry. Let us discuss question number 10. Why is the respiration considered as an exothermic reaction? Explain. Just now we discussed about exothermic reaction. What is the meaning of exothermic reaction? Exothermic reaction means the reaction in which heat or energy is released. Now during respiration what happens? The glucose combines with oxygen in the cells of our body to form carbon dioxide, water and the energy. How the energy is released? It is released in the form of ATP. As the energy is released, respiration is considered as an exothermic reaction. Let us write the equation for the respiration. The glucose formula is C6H12O6 combines with oxygen to form carbon dioxide, water and energy. Energy is in the form of ATP. Now as the energy is released, respiration is called as a exothermic reaction. Let us balance this. 6 CO2. Now here how many oxygen molecules we have to take? Let us take 6 oxygen. 6 2s are 12, 12 6 18. Here 12 oxygen and here also we need to write 6. Then oxygen will be balanced. Now what about hydrogen? Hydrogen is 12 hydrogen atoms on the product side and on the reactant side also 12 hydrogen atoms. So it is balanced now. As the energy is released, the respiration is considered as an exothermic reaction. Next question. Why are decomposition reactions called the opposite of combination reaction? Write equations for these reactions. So combination reaction means what? In combination reaction, 2 or more reactants will combine to form a single product. Whereas in decomposition reaction, we already learnt about that. That is, single reactant will split to form 2 or more products. Now in combination reaction, generally the heat is released. Whereas in a decomposition reaction, it is endothermic. That means energy is absorbed either in the form of heat, light or electricity. Let us write the example for each reaction. So for combination reaction, calcium oxide or the quicklime combines with the water to form calcium hydroxide, which is aqueous solution, plus heat. Heat is released here. So this is the difference between combination and decomposition reaction. Always combination reaction is called the opposite of decomposition reaction for these two reasons. Question number 12. Write one equation each for the decomposition reactions where energy is supplied in the form of heat, light or electricity. Or the question can be asked like this also, that is, decomposition reactions require energy either in the form of heat or light or electricity for breaking down the reactants. Write one equation each for decomposition reactions where energy is supplied in the form of heat, light or electricity. Now let us write the equation for that. Calcium carbonate on heating, it forms a calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. This is a thermal decomposition reaction. What it is called? A thermal decomposition reaction. Whereas second one, that is decomposition of silver bromide in presence of light. Let us see, AgBr on in presence of light, it forms a silver and the bromine gas. Now third is water. On passing electricity, it will decompose to form hydrogen gas and oxygen gas. This is a third type of a decomposition reaction, that is a electrolytic decomposition. So we already wrote three examples, one each for the thermal decomposition, then photolytic decomposition and electrolytic decomposition reaction. Next question, question number 13. What is the difference between displacement and double displacement reactions? Let us see. What do you mean by displacement reaction? The more reactive element displaces less reactive element from its salt solution. This is called as a displacement reaction. Whereas in double displacement reaction, two reactants will be combining to form two new substances by mutually exchanging ions between them. So here in a double displacement, two-time displacement takes place, whereas in displacement reaction, only one-time displacement reaction takes place. That is why it is also called as a single displacement reaction. In a double displacement reaction, we can see the formation of precipitate, whereas in single displacement reaction, there is no precipitate formation, but the color of the solution may change. So let us take the example of iron combining with copper sulfate to form ferrous sulfate and copper. Here copper sulfate is blue in color, whereas ferrous sulfate is green in color. So the solution color may change, but there is no precipitate formation. Whereas in double displacement reaction, let us take one example, that is barium chloride, which is a colorless solution, combines with sodium sulfate, which is again a colorless solution, to form a barium sulfate, which is a precipitate. So here precipitate is formed. That is why always a displacement reaction and a double displacement reaction, they have some difference between them in these three factors. Which are the three factors in displacement reaction? More reactive element displaces less reactive element from its salt solution. Whereas in double displacement reaction, there is a mutual exchange of ions between the reactants to form two new substance. Single displacement reaction means there is one time displacement. Double displacement reaction means there are two time displacement taking place. And in double displacement, there may be formation of precipitate. But in single displacement reaction, there is no precipitate formation, but the color of the solution may change. Let us discuss about question number 14, that is a refining of silver. How the silver is refined? It is refined with the displacement by copper metal. Let us write the reaction first, then you can understand. So silver nitrate will combine with the copper to form copper nitrate, CuNO3 whole twice plus a silver. How the reaction becomes possible? Because the copper is a more reactive than a silver. That is why it is able to displace a silver from its salt solution. You know the reactivity series. The silver is below copper. So copper cannot displace silver from its salt solution. Next question. What do you mean by a precipitate reaction or precipitation reaction? You have to explain by giving examples. So what is precipitate? Precipitate means insoluble solid formed in a solution. So here the reaction in which insoluble solid is formed, that is known as the precipitation reaction. The reaction in which insoluble solid is formed along with the product, that is called as precipitation reaction. The example we can write lead nitrate combines with a solution of potassium iodide to form lead iodide plus potassium nitrate. Let us balance that. So 2 Ki you need to write, all are aqueous here. Lead iodide is a yellow colored precipitate and potassium nitrate is aqueous solution. Now here what is formed here? Yellow colored precipitate of a lead iodide is formed in the solution. So this reaction is called as a precipitation reaction. It is also a double displacement reaction. Next, explain the following in terms of gain or loss of oxygen with 2 examples each. Oxidation reaction in terms of gain of oxygen, how you can explain? That is, the addition of oxygen to a substance is called as a oxidation. What is oxidation? Addition of oxygen to a substance, that is called as oxidation. For example, let us write the example of carbon burns in oxygen to form carbon dioxide. And one more example we can write, copper burns in oxygen to form copper oxide. What happened here? The oxygen has been added to carbon to form carbon dioxide and oxygen has been added to form a copper oxide here. Now that is the addition of oxygen to a substance, that is called as oxidation. Now next is reduction. The removal of oxygen from a substance, that is called as reduction. Now example for that is let us take the example of zinc oxide reacts with carbon on heating to form zinc plus carbon monoxide. Now here from the zinc oxygen has been removed, so it is undergoing a reduction. Zinc oxide is undergoing reduction. Oxygen has been removed from zinc oxide, whereas oxygen has been added to carbon, so it is undergoing oxidation. One more example, let us write lead oxide will combine with carbon on heating to form lead plus carbon monoxide. Here again lead oxide has been reduced to lead with the removal of oxygen. Question number 17. A shiny brown colored element X on heating in air becomes black in color. Name the element X and the black colored compound formed. So you know already the element which is shiny brown in color, that is a copper. Copper is a X. What is X here? X is a copper. Now next, black colored compound. So what happens to the copper on burning in air? It forms a copper oxide. So the black colored compound is a copper oxide, which is a solid. Copper also is a solid and oxygen is a gas. We need to balance this. Now next is, why do we apply paint on iron articles? You know already, iron articles, when it is kept outside for a long time, it will react with the oxygen or moisture present in the air to form a rust. Its strength will be lost. So what we have to do? We have to apply paint on iron articles. So how it helps? The paint does not allow iron articles to come in contact with air, water, and saves iron articles from damage due to rusting. See, let us write the equation for that. Iron on exposure to oxygen and moisture. Here these two are gases and iron is solid. What happens after some time? It will be converted into Fe2O3, which is a brown in color, and next it will be hydrated form. So we need to write NH2O. So Fe2O3 dot NH2O, that is hydrated form of ferric oxide is formed, which is also called as a rust. Now here let us write NH2O, and this is a 3/2O2. Now 2 Fe. This is how you need to balance. So iron on combining with oxygen and moisture, it will form a rust, which is hydrated form of ferric oxide. In order to prevent the iron articles coming in contact with the oxygen or moisture, one layer of paint is applied on the iron articles. So paint will not allow the iron articles to come in contact with air, water, and saves iron articles from damage due to rusting. Now next is, oil and fat containing food items are flushed with nitrogen. Why? We know already, oil and fat containing food, if it is kept for a long time, what happens? It will undergo slow oxidation and its smell and taste changes. There will appear bad smell and taste. That we say the food has become rancid. So in order to prevent the rancidity, what we will do? We will flush that food packet with nitrogen. This nitrogen is inert, so it will not allow oxygen to come in contact with the food item. So thereby prevents the food from getting oxidized. So rancid food becoming rancid, it will be prevented by flushing with the nitrogen. Now question number 20. Explain the following terms with one example each. Corrosion and rancidity. Corrosion means what? It is a slow eating up of a metal by the action of air, moisture, or chemical such as acid on their surface. So what happens to the metal now? Metal will lose its luster and its property will be lost. So example we can say rusting of iron. Most common example. So what happens to the iron? It will combine with oxygen and moisture present in the air to form hydrated form of ferric oxide, Fe2O3 dot NH2O. Here we will write N, and this is a 3/2 and 2 Fe. So here this is called as a rust, hydrated form of ferric oxide. Now next is a rancidity. What is rancidity? When food containing oil or fat kept for long time, it undergoes a slow oxidation. Taste and smell of food changes. This process is called as rancidity. Now how to prevent rancidity? Either we have to refrigerate the food or flush with nitrogen, or we have to keep it in airtight containers. With this we can prevent the food from becoming rancid. So with this we are finishing our first lesson, chemical reactions and equations. If you like the video, please like, share and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.